What up, Joe? Your boy VicDamoane. All right. Streaming from the mobile site. All right. I want to talk about Kanye West and his statements involving the 13th Amendment. Because as you know, I've been bringing up the 13th Amendment for quite some time, pointing out the fact that the 13th Amendment is proof that slavery still exists in America, that slavery never ended. All right. It was just amended to affect white people as well as black people and any other race of people that came into the country. It wasn't that slavery just affected black people at a time, because the government had a system, especially when slavery was in existence. The government system was flawed because you had the North that didn't have really slaves like that. And then you had the South, which completely were ran by slaves. Slaves built the South. Okay. Which also made the people that were living in the South rich. So what did the North do? The North came down there and robbed the niggas in the South. This is where white on white crime comes into play. The white people up north got jealous of the white people down south. And they said, you know what? We're going to free the slaves. That way these white folks down south are going to end up broke and we'll have power, because these slaves are going to come up north and work for us, not realizing, well, all the North did was make you a modern day slave. But let's stay on the concept of the 13th Amendment. I've said this, all right, over and over again. Right. The Civil War was not about black liberation. The Civil War was about money and power. That's what it was about. If you look up, and what was my man in China? I see my homeboy in China in the chat room. Esco, if you look at American history in the 1700s, 1800s, when slavery was going on, you look at the value that the people had in the South versus the value that the people had in the North. People in the North were going through a recession, all types of shit was fucking up with them. People in the South didn't feel that shit, not until the slaves got freed. And what did they do? When you look up and see real history, what you had was you had white folks kicking in the door of white folks, robbing other motherfucking white people. So imagine this, Esco. You're a slave owner, right? You got, 10, 15 slaves working for you. And the next thing you know, a motherfucker from the North with all his people is looting your house, right? Stealing all your food, throwing all your shit out. And when they get to the slave quarters, they just rape and kill them. Hell, you didn't even rape them, but they did. And some of the people that came from the North was black folks. Some scenarios you had white people, robbing and stealing from master's house, and you had the black soldiers going to the slave quarters, fucking them up. That's where that tension come from. But all this came, all right, with this 13th Amendment. People will tell you that number 13 is affiliated with the Illuminati. I don't know. But the 13th Amendment says that slavery is abolished with the exception of you committing a crime. People want to talk about involuntary servitude. Nigga, that's another word for slavery. The fuck? You just trying to say it nicely. All right. But Kanye was only part right. Because, see, we always get confused with words, even Kanye sometimes. I ask this question a lot. Who is the individual that charges you with the crime? It's not the fucking judge. I don't know where this whole concept comes of conviction. The 13th Amendment has nothing to do with a conviction. There is, where do you see conviction on there? That the 13th Amendment doesn't come into play until a conviction. No, the 13th Amendment states, all right, that you can be put back into a form of a slave. All right. But who charges you with that? It's not the judge. The individual responsible for charging you with the crime is the police officer, not the judge. Because you don't get in front of that judge until the police officer brings you in front of the judge and he puts the charge on you. The judge just sits there and nods his head. Okay. All right. Now, the 13th Amendment was put into play after the Civil War. Because once the Civil War was over, okay, you had a government that said, okay, we got all these slaves running around, but what about these white folks that could easily, even though we freed the slaves, they can convince those slaves to come back and work for them. We got to put some type of level on citizens of America to make them feel that they are inferior to us. They have to feel inferior. They have to be afraid. So what do? Well, we'll start treating white folks like we treat niggas. Now, when this happened, all right, you had a lot of infighting going on, all right, while the government is saying, well, you know what? We got a system that could fuck all of them up, all right, and they'll still believe it's a black and white thing when it ain't got really shit to do with race. This is about money. This is about power. All right. There are millions of white people in America that ain't got shit. There are millions of white people in America that ain't got a fucking pot to piss in. They're not homeowners. They didn't get any type of land from being, a white heritage, and they trace their white roots. They didn't get shit. Nothing. But black folks will say, well, that white man, his ancestor was a slave master. Well, if he was a slave masters had property, land, all this other type of shit. I have not found a white person yet that says that, well, this was passed down to me from my white slave masters. This house, this money, this wealth. I got it because my great granddaddy owned slaves. No white person has benefited from slavery. But black folks, all right, black folks say that, they owe money. We owe money. They owe us money. Who's going to pay you if the white people didn't even get paid? But black folks will turn around and say, well, the white man this, the white man that, the white man this, the white man that. But the white folks didn't get paid. Yeah, they had you as slaves. But at the end of all that, they got fucked too. They didn't get a benefit from you being a slave. They got rolled over. And if you look at the country now, who has more power? Where's the wealth at? Everybody will tell you, well, the wealth is up north, right? We got New York, we got California, Seattle. All of these are big, rich areas, right? Pennsylvania. Hell, the funny thing is they even break this down to you when you play Monopoly. All right. Monopoly is a board where you start in the South. All right. You start in the South, and by the time you get to Boardwalk, well, where's Boardwalk? Where's the actual Boardwalk in Park Place? That's in New York, ain't it? Even teaching you as a child that the North was better than the South. Even putting that MK Ultra programming all the way back then. All right. Now, if we once again go back to the 13th Amendment, what does the 13th Amendment allow the government or the police to do? Well, the 13th Amendment allows the police to shoot you, kill you, beat your ass, all of that shit. They are protected by the 13th Amendment. That's why Kanye can't even understand why motherfuckers is on his head. Why you got TMZ and that dude, he's a lawyer. He knows exactly what the 13th Amendment is about. All right. But to bring it up, you basically trying to bring down the hands of the Illuminati. To bring up the 13th Amendment and talk shit about it and use some type of, big name and shit like that, you want the Illuminati to roll out on you. And they're going to do it sooner or later. When you start to try to wake people up on a grand scale and say, well, hey, guys, did y'all know about the 13th Amendment saying that you could be a slave, that you could be put back as reverted back to a slave? Did you know that? That when these police officers arrest you and say you under arrest, you are a fucking slave at that moment in time. Your liberties, I'm an American, all that go out the window. Motherfuckers don't know that shit. They don't know that shit. Right? You a slave. Therefore, what rights do a slave have? I see so many motherfuckers in jail thinking that they still got rights. What rights? What rights does a slave have? What rights do a slave have? 13th Amendment been sitting on that goddamn Constitution since 1776, since that shit was made. All right. 500 years later, you realize you ain't got fucked over. All right. There. All right. All right. People not using their own mind and thinking, well, all right, well, if the 13th Amendment is what Vic is saying, and I do a little research on it, all right, it should make sense to you why Eric Garner got killed the way he did. Why that 12-year-old boy in Chicago got shot down in cold blood when the police officer jumped out the car, saw him with a toy gun, and opened fire on him. Same reason why Michael Brown got shot in the head 20 feet away, and Darren Wilson got on national TV and said, well, he was in fear for his life from a 250-pound man leaping in the air from 80 feet or 20 feet out. He just had to shoot. All right. All right. Right. And what happened to Eric Gardner was legal. Nobody ever wanted to point out that what they did to Eric Gardner on camera, on World Star, was legal. According to the Constitution, they had every single right to kill that man on camera. You didn't know that? But the news and media asked your opinion. How do you feel about it? not pointing out the fact that the 13th Amendment protected those cops. As, hey, look, as soon as he put that chokehold around his neck, those cops were protected. Those cops were protected. All right. Another little thing the police don't tell you. You ask any police officer, and I brought this up to people that were former police officers or have a family deep rooted in law enforcement. All right, something that hold on one second, y'all. This tissue. Oh. But after talking with a state trooper, all right, retired, a state trooper told me if a police officer, all right, will not, if a police officer tells you that you are under arrest, at this point, you have no other choice, right? You will have no other choice but to surrender to this police officer because you no longer have any rights. You have been reverted back into a slave, okay? You have been reverted back into a slave by an officer stating you are under arrest. Once a police officer says this, you no longer have rights. Your rights as an American citizen have been taken away by a verbal statement. Verbal. Not written, not where's the warrant, none of that shit. Once a police officer says to you, you're under arrest, at that moment, the police can use any means necessary, including death, to bring you in. Now, you do have options. You can either go into the jail or you could go into the morgue, whichever one you want to go. But your life is no longer a life in America when a police officer says you are under arrest. You don't have rights anymore. So ask yourself, all right, what if a black cop arrests you? That black cop is protected by the 13th Amendment. So what? What if he could be Chinese? It don't matter what fucking race. That's what people don't realize. It don't matter what race it is. It don't matter what race it is. I can give any nationality power like that and they will become evil. The fuck? What do you expect? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that is the ultimate power. Ask any police officer, what's it like being a cop? Powerful. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I can run through red lights. You can't. I can ride without my seatbelt. You can't. I can jump in this car with no plates and go down the street. You can't. If I pull my gun out and start shooting on camera, off camera, all right, I'm not going to jail. You are. Power. That's power. I have the ability to either leave you on the street or end your life. I can end your life physically or I can end your life mentally and put your ass behind this wall and tell one person that you broke the law and we'll never see you again. All right. That's power. So the 13th Amendment was put in place for police officers, for the, U.S. Marshals, for the FBI. So when they come at you, you can't sue them. All right? I've spoken to many police officers. They always give me the same story. They always say, well, I'm not like that. But, my coworkers, you can't fuck with them, man. Them niggas crazy. I'm not like that, though. But my partners and them, they be up in the force. Yeah, man, they be doing motherfuckers dirty. All right? The 13th Amendment was only put in play to make you, the U.S. citizen, all right, a puppet, a pawn. All right? We, the government, have the right to stop your way of living inside of our country if we want to. The 13th Amendment will never be abolished. All right? And a lot of things, even though Kanye West be like way in outer space sometime, which he does. But I do agree with him when it comes to talking about abolishing the 13th Amendment. Because if you abolish the 13th Amendment, then you abolish slavery. He came back and said, well, can we have it amended? Well, no. Amended to what? Amended so, these people won't be treated like slaves? Oh, no. Now you're trying to change a 400-year system, Kanye. You done overstepped your bounds. All right? You done overstepped your bounds. You might as well ask Boko Haram to accept Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. That ain't about to happen. All right? You might as well go over to Asia and tell them motherfucking Chinese to stop tearing up these fucking Christian churches. That ain't about to happen. What? What? Think about that. All right? All right, look. If this country was truly the land of the free, well, you wouldn't have to pay for water. You know what I'm saying? If this was the land of the free, you wouldn't have to pay for water. All right? The water about $2 a bottle around here. All right? Nothing is free in America. That should be the slogan. Not land of the free. It should be America. Nothing comes for free. Because that's the reality of America. If you don't have money, how do you live? Freely? No, that's being homeless. Homeless people all over the world. All right? I don't give a fuck what country we go to. If I take a homeless man and say, hey, dog, do you want a house? He ain't going to turn me down. All right? All right? Get down. All right? Let's get into it. Whoa. Come on, y'all. What's up, man? All right. So now, a lot of shit is falling on Kanye. Right? Yeah, right. I agree. All right. I agree. Now, like I said, Kanye catching a lot of flack because, in my opinion, yeah, you like Kanye, in the eyes of the people, it's like he's trying to play both sides. You can't be a pro-black Trump supporter. It just does not go together, Kanye. Did I say that right, y'all? You cannot be a pro-black Trump supporter. That's like Fiddler from Roots trying to be a soldier for Shaka Zulu. It's not about to happen. All right? What the fuck? All right. You got on a Make America Great Again hat, talk about abolishing the 13th Amendment. All right. Those things do not go together. All right. They do not go together. Okay. In any way, shape, or form. I don't understand why even you, sir, couldn't grasp this concept. All right. All right. I don't think, see, look, I don't have any hate for Kanye. I know that boy's on dope. All right. A lot of motherfuckers want to say Kanye got cloned, that this, that, the other. No, whatever dope they doing in that goddamn Kardashian house, I guarantee you he high as a kite.
Sounded high in the last interview.
All right. I mean, yeah, he's got money. I mean, he's married to a Kardashian. So, I mean, you could be a broke motherfucker. You get married to a Kardashian and instantly you got money. You got money coming from online just from being affiliated with them. All right. So what do you see Kanye do? Kanye made a YouTube channel. Did he not? Kanye, just like the rest of us, bums on YouTube, these niggas, these celebrities are coming to do the exact same shit that we doing. All right, we've been doing live streams, talk shows, and God knows how. You look up now, Nicki Minaj got one.
I don't call you that.
I'm like, well, what the fuck?
I would call you more.
All right, this is the game. Now, if you have an endless amount of funds, right? Right? If you got an endless amount of funds, at that point, do you really listen to anybody? No. All right. Look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. I saw that little young nigga. I believe he's somewhere in Europe right now. But they kicked in his door in New York and found a gun in his crib. All right. Right? This nigga just made a video not too long ago talking about he in Europe and he ain't never coming back. All right. That nigga told 50 Cent he could keep the King of New York shit. He said, hey, I don't want nothing. After them boys kicked in the door, he said, fuck it, I ain't coming back. So that goes to show you what money do. They go to show you what money do. All right.
Money is the root of all evil.
Now, all this money has fucked up Kanye's craft a little bit. Because he walks around and says, I'm a genius, I'm a genius, I'm a genius. Yet I forget, this is the same man that told all of us that how he sold his soul to the devil.
I heard that.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't really talk about that. anymore. No one even asked him about that. All right. It was like when he talked about how he sold his soul to the devil. I sold my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. Well, you being a former Christian, I'm pretty sure you would know how to do that. Hell, yeah, it wouldn't be that hard for you. You're a Bible reader, right? So you know how to get in contact with Satan. That wasn't, hard. But the price you paid, Kanye, all right, got your bread, because that's what he does. Kingdoms of the world type shit. You own them. But you don't have the love of the people. You got the kingdoms of the world, but you don't have the love of the people. See how the devil fucked over you? All right. Watch. That little Tekashi 6ix9ine video. All right. Yeah. All that soul selling, that shit that caught up with him too. The nigga had a video holding 10, 15,000 in his hand, talking about money can't buy you happiness. Really? Nigga, you should be a happy motherfucker. You buying Ferraris, all the materialistic things you want. All right. You got the feel on Nicki Minaj. I mean, I don't know what else you want out of life. What else do you want out of life? All right. You make a rap song, you get a record deal, you get a shitload of money and get the rub on Nicki Minaj. What's the problem? What's the problem? All right.
Perhaps you can't afford it.
All right. Is that selling your soul shit is starting to get to you too, huh? I guess so. I can tell. We can tell when the shit is getting to you, bruh. All right. We can really, really tell. Oh, okay. Appreciate that. Yeah, somebody donated. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Yeah, I think I got the donate links in this mobile thing. I think I do. You said, do I actually believe it? Well, of course. Of course I believe it. I got these artifacts in my house. These little artifacts right here. Yeah. You see, you'll find it in this book. You'll find it in this one. And you'll find it in this one. Yeah. Anybody that actually has read this book knows how to get in contact with Satan, and you would know how to sell your soul. And if you do it the right way, you will become a rich motherfucker. All right. Not all that stupid shit you see with the candles and people wearing dark robes and Satan is king, all that dumb shit. No, that's not how it works. All right. Just like people have to study these books to find Jesus Christ, you have to study these books to find Satan. All right. And yeah, business is booming. All right. All right. All right. Real talk. You got to look at something. Satan told Jesus Christ, well, if you come and do an act of worship to me, I'll give you the kingdoms of the world because that's what was given to me. And so I can do whatever I want to do with this. This is the conversation he was having with Jesus. But the conversation when he had with Job, right? His issue with God when it came to Job is like, well, goddamn, why are you protecting him? That was his issue. His issue with God was, why is it I can fuck with everybody, but you can't you told me that this is my world. and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. But when it came to Job, I get to Job, and you have your hedge of protection over this nigga. For what? Why are you protecting him, but not the rest of your creation? God. God responded and said, well, look, this is my man's. I fuck with this nigga. He fucks with me. So what did Satan say? Satan said, well, look, I guarantee you, if I can fuck with him, just like I can fuck with the rest of them, I'll get him to turn on you just like the rest of them turned on you. So God said, okay, bet. Do whatever you want to do, just don't kill him. See if you get him to turn like the rest of them. So Satan went at him. Job didn't turn, which showed loyalty in the human race, something that Satan said don't exist, that humans ain't loyal. That's why he don't want to see y'all in the afterlife. He would rather you be destroyed because he knows that y'all niggas ain't loyal. See, even Satan himself is loyal to God. He's more loyal to God than anybody on this planet. But you wouldn't know that unless you read these books. All right? You wouldn't know that unless you read the books. Are celebrities selling their soul to get rich? Absolutely. All right? Is there a way to get in contact with Satan? Yeah. All right? It took me a year to read this book, from Genesis to Revelation. When I got to Revelation, I read it again. All right. When I got to Revelation, I read it again. And then I hear all these people talking about the different versions of the Bible, but everybody that says that out of their mouth never read one Bible. All right. It's like if you're a physician and I'm saying, well, we don't need physicians. Physicians ain't shit. All right. All of their books are mumbo jumbo, yet I haven't read one. How the fuck can I speak on the subject? Same thing when it comes to these books here. A lot of people are afraid of these books or these Bibles because a man or woman told you not to touch it. And your scary ass actually listened. You got so shook off of what someone else said about a book. You got afraid to pick it up and look at it yourself. But when they handed you a motherfucking book about Black history, oh, you read that bitch from front to back. When they gave you a book about Egypt, oh, yeah, I'm going to read that front to back. And after you read those books, you were able to understand what those books were about. And if you read into anybody that talks shit about those books, you would know if they read the book or not just by having a simple conversation with them. Are they just speaking out of hate or are they speaking out of actual knowledge? Most of the time, you'll find people speaking out of hate because they didn't read the books. Why doesn't that apply for the Bible? It's pretty much the same things being done. The books ain't being read. They're not being researched. They're just being hated on, and nobody's bringing anything up about them. Like, look, I got a problem with this book. I got a problem with this whole chapter. Let's break down this chapter, see what this chapter is saying. You don't see that, do you? Because that'd be exposing too much. All right. Yes, God gave everyone the talent. You know what the talent God gave you? The talent that God gave you was called free will. That's your talent. That is the God-given talent, the gift that God gave you. Free will. Free will. That is your talent. That is your gift. Free will. You know who ain't got, you know who ain't got free will? The angels. They don't have that. The angels do not have the ability of free will. They have independence, but they don't have free will. They have no choice. They have to listen to God. They have to do what God says. Every time. We don't. How about that? Another reason why Satan despises you as a human race. Because he doesn't have the ability of free will. He doesn't have the ability to go against the word of God, even being Satan. Another reason why he hates you. Another reason why he wants you destroyed. Because the Bible says that God made Satan perfect, yet there's a lot of imperfections in Satan that he has that he even recognizes himself he doesn't like. You know, the fact that he can't reprocreate, like he can't reproduce, he can't have sex and have children of his own. And when the angels even attempted to do that shit, he ended up destroying everybody. God ended up tearing everything up. So he watches you have sex with the opposite sex and create life. All right, since the creation of life, but he can't do that. He just got to watch you do it. You don't understand the beef that Satan got with you as a human race yet? Is it starting to sink in why he hates the human race so much? Not that bullshit you heard at church. Let's get logical here. All right. Let's not have a sermon. Let's have a real conversation. All right. It's a difference. Having a conversation versus a sermon. I don't come to preach. All right. I'm an all salt, no sugar guy. I don't sugarcoat shit. All right. Ain't got time to tell y'all motherfuckers to pray and all this other dumb shit. No, I ain't got time for all that. I really don't. All right. These books here do not teach you how to be a preacher. They damn sure don't. These books don't give you the urge to preach if you read them. All right. Nobody I've known that actually read the whole Bible all the way through. Okay. I've seen all of a sudden bust out and wanted to be a pastor. All right. But those people that do read the Bible all the way through and understand what's going on, oh, they receive their blessings. Just about all of them. I'm just saying. So, yeah, there is a major thing in Hollywood where you can trade your soul for riches. All right. And you will be in the game forever. But it has to be like more than your soul, though. It's got to be more than that, though. You just giving up your soul is one thing, but where's your loyalty? Like Jesus says, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve him and Satan at the same time. That ain't going to work. Why you think Jesus said that? No one man can serve two masters. All right? Because either you're going to rock with Jesus or you're going to rock with Satan. Which one? All right? Jesus has the approval of God. Satan don't. All right? All right? Am I saying all celebrities turn their back on God? Yep. 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 Every last one of them. Even the motherfucking why do you think people keep telling like them TV preachers and all that shit is corrupt? If you go into gospel music, you will find Satan himself. All right. If you try to say, well, I'm going to be the biggest gospel singer, all right, you will be heartbroken when you see who's sitting at the end of that table. You will be heartbroken. All right, you'll be heartbroken. Hell, y'all know I'm into music, right? I DJ a lot. I spin records. I am. I wanted to be a rapper too. I wanted to do all that shit at one point in time. I was going to be a rapper. All right. But then I learned who was sitting at the end of that fucking table. All right. Now, I found out about the celebrities, and devil worship back in 2008. All right. This all happened pretty much at the same time. It was like Barack Obama went in office. They legalized marijuana. All right. And then they approved stem cell research, which you still ain't heard nothing about. They haven't brought back up since they promoted it. But when I say stem cell research, you're reminded of 2008 because that was the last time they said that publicly to the entire nation. We need you to vote for stem cell research because we're building arms for soldiers and leg. They lost a leg, so we could put a whole new leg on their body. But after you voted that in with the legalization of marijuana, they stopped talking about the stem cell research. Why? Okay. Next thing you know, now all the rap songs go from, well, we drug dealers, we killers, we riding on Vols, to, hey guys, let's all go worship Satan. Just out the blue, just that fast. No, ease on into it. Hey guys, we need to go all be devil worshipers. Just bam, just like that. Instantly, switch over. And what was happening? Well, motherfuckers wasn't going to church no way. Might as well rock with Satan. The celebrities are. That's what happened. All right. As you go further and further, you see black people doing things to children that at one point we as a black people would say, oh, only white folks do that. You saw black folks doing shit that we come up and we always say, oh, no, that's just the white people. We don't do no shit like that. White folks doing that crazy shit. We don't do no crazy shit like that. Because what did the white folks have? The white folks had heavy metal. And heavy metal was all wrapped up in devil worship, right? So black folks went into no type of devil worship. But now we are, through the rap music, now we're more acceptive of devil worship through rap music. And we'll sing that song just like French Montana and all them talked about. They sold. It became a trending thing. All right. It became something that was passive, that when they brought up, well, I'm a devil worshiper, you laughed at it instead of being offended. Well, see, that's what Satan said he was going to do in the Bible. He said he was going to make people believe that he was your friend. All right. There was a point in time where black folks would be offended on certain things that now we take no offense to at all. And I'm not talking about words. I'm talking about other things. All right. You know, when you send your child, somebody said, whoa. You said, what is Christian music? All right. Christian music. Christian music. Well, first of all, you have to understand who created music. The creator of music is Satan himself. You can look that up. Any pastor or preacher, you ask him. They should know that. That's common biblical knowledge, that the creator of music is Satan. He created the sound of music. If you know anything about the Bible. So if we start there, all right, you look at Christian music, you look at country music, you look at rap music, all music started with Satan himself. That Satan himself was a musician, that he created the sound of music. All right. This is why his name stands out over all the other angels that don't have names. All right. Yes, they sing about God and Jesus, but you got to watch that shit when it comes to lingo, because here's my thing. In the Bible, God is very, very direct, right? He's not a, you know, all right. Think about it like this. Uh-oh. Damn, chat room jumped. And I think that was, who was that? That was Cherry Bomb. People sing about God and Jesus. But God said in the Old Testament, do not create any graven image of me,
false idols,
or anything that was represented in heaven. No representation, nothing. Do not create any graven image of me or anything representing in heaven. I don't like that. This is God telling you what he don't like. All right. But you see crosses. You see big ass photos of a white Jesus, of a black Jesus, of a Jesus with an afro, with a Jesus with a goddamn perm, and a group of motherfuckers singing to Jesus and God in a house that he told you not even to make. How are you praising or getting anything from God if he told you not to do something and you do it anyway and then make a song about it? All right. And we are wondering why people are suffering in the church. Not the pastor, though. We are wondering why the people are suffering in the church, not the pastor. All right. All right. Motherfuckers really got to read that book. Motherfuckers really got to read that book. That's like me coming into your house and you have a big ass sign on your front door that says, please remove your shoes when you come in my house. But there's another guest in your house walking around with shoes on, and they open your door and say, no, you ain't got to take your shoes off. Come on in. Now, when you come downstairs, you end up kicking both of these motherfuckers out your house for having shoes on and look and say, bitch, didn't you see the sign? The one guy looks at you and said, well, no. You know, he told me it was okay. So you went with the guy saying it was okay instead of reading the motherfucking sign that told you that it's my house. That's my sign. Tell you to take your goddamn shoes off. But this nigga over here told you it was okay to do, so you did what he said do. And you expect me and you to be cool because you was listening to this motherfucker about me. Y'all see why God don't fuck with people? And the world is fucked up. You said, what's up with the cloning in Hollywood? What's up with it? I mean, if you've been here on the stream, I talked about stem cell research in 2008. I talked about stem cell research. Does anybody know or remember what stem cell research was or is and how it was being advertised back then? Who remembers? I remember. I'm just wondering who else remembers. What was the purpose that the United States government told you, the Americans, to vote for stem cell research? Replacement organs. What else? And limbs. There we go, Trim. There we go, Trim. You voted for it. You voted for it. 10 years later, they got a whole motherfucking human body walking around. What's the problem? What's the problem? They got whole human bodies walking around, moving, walking, and talking. What is the problem? Huh? All right. What's wrong? What's wrong with the clone? Yeah. Yep. Got the clone. These niggas bucking on the system. All right. All right. Yeah, man. All right. They got Dave Chappelle. They got Kanye. They got a few motherfuckers. All right. See, they couldn't clone Michael Jackson. Certain motherfuckers they couldn't clone. They couldn't clone Michael Jackson. They damn sure couldn't clone Prince. There was no way they could duplicate them. They could have made them look. They probably could have gave them the look, everything. All right. The facial features, the height. All right. Right. Certain motherfuckers. All right. All right. Now, why are the clones being created? Because angels need vessels. You know, like the old times. This is why the clones are being created. Because angels need vessels. They do. All right. Right. Can't clone Whitney. Who the fuck gonna hit them notes? Can't clone. Yeah, you know, certain motherfuckers can't. All right. Oh no, I'm pretty positive they have cloned microscopic organs already. I mean, hell, these motherfuckers made smallpox. Don't sleep, Trim. Now you know what I'm saying? You sleeping. Don't sleep on them. Them motherfuckers made smallpox. What? Shit. Put smallpox in a blanket, nigga. Put your ass to sleep permanently. All right. These same motherfuckers made polio. Let's not play. All right. Look, they will go in there. Look, they are. Like what? Like, bitch, look, if they have cloned the whole human body, nigga, they didn't clone the atom. Okay? Come on now. Yeah. They had to clone the atom. They had to clone DNA. Therefore, they had to clone that goddamn atom. All right? In order to make that human body part work. That's why they want to walk around and tell everybody that the Bible ain't real. How you gonna tell me the Bible ain't real, bitch? I got a clone right next to me, nigga. All right. I got a clone. How you gonna tell me anything about God when I just created this nigga sitting next to me? I'm God, bitch. All right. Think about that. Think about that. No, D's nuts is a troll. All right. Yeah, D's nuts is actually a troll. All right. Yeah. You should see D's nuts in the chat room any minute. All right. Oh shit. Yeah. These nuts is actually a troll. It's troll account, so I know they. Yeah. 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 You can probably put that in Google. You'll get his account. All right. Oh shit. But yeah, the whole scenario, and this is just my theory on the reason why they're making these clones. They're making the clones so they can the fallen would have a vessel to move about, talk, communicate, all that shit. And by the vessel, if a fallen angel was to enter a man-made created vessel, that's not breaking the laws that God laid down in the Old Testament about what couldn't or what could and couldn't be done again. Because in the Old Testament, the angels were having sex with women. All right. And that shit didn't work out too well. All right. Because it talks about these people being giants, the Nephilim, you know what I'm saying? I have always, put the theory out there that, people don't speak on from what the Bible is, to me, clearly saying, all right, is that man actually walked with the dinosaurs. But the only thing was those dinosaurs, okay? Those dinosaurs were running into the Nephilim. That's what killed the dinosaurs. That's what wiped them out. It wasn't no fucking meteor. It wasn't no goddamn Big Bang. All right. If the Nephilim walked the earth, all right, then they ate the fucking dinosaurs. And then the Nephilim got wiped out in the flood with the remainder of the goddamn dinosaurs that was on the planet. They drowned. That's what happened to the dinosaurs. If I'm looking at it from a biblical standpoint. Because the Canaanites were on the earth, they needed a food source. It said that they couldn't reproduce. Once they were born, that they could not reproduce, but they were giants, men that were 30 and 40 feet fucking tall. All right. Now, if you have a group of men that are 30 and 40 feet tall, could a group of men that are 30 and 40 feet tall kill and eat a Tyrannosaurus Rex? That'd be common sense, right? So, according to the Bible, you had a race of people, right, that were already human and normal. And then there were a generation that were being taken by the angels and having sex by the angels. So a whole new race was being created on the planet, or what would be considered an abomination, right? So the humans, which would be, let's say, on the left side, they're still human, right? They still having babies. They still doing their thing, right? And they see these creatures being created over here on the other side. But back then, according to the Bible, all right. Well, no, they have found the 30-foot nigga bones. Google it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They found the 30-foot nigga bones. Yeah, they did. They sure did. They sure did. It was like when niggas found Noah's Ark, it was a fallacy. So then they found the nigga bones, and look, it's still a fallacy. I said, well, goddamn, nigga, the evidence, the evidence is still coming out. Why are y'all denying it now? Y'all mad? Because they didn't pull that motherfucker out the Egyptian pyramid, nigga? Niggas is mad. Niggas is mad that this shit didn't come out the Egyptian pyramid, that the Quran didn't lead them there, that it wasn't the goddamn Torah or any of this other shit. The plain old regular Bible. Yep, take you right there. All right, atheists mad, everybody mad when evidence started popping up. Like, you know, this shit came out the Bible, right? You're like, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm telling you, bro. Look. Shh. Don't say that out loud. Please. Please don't say that out loud. Why you think they discover these bones of the giants, but every time the Smithsonian gets hold of these bones, they somehow always misplace them? Right? Something gets lost. We got photos, but we couldn't get the date of the bones because somebody always fucks up when they get the bones delivered to these museums. You know, we can't, no, we're not going to tell people the age of these bones. We can't tell the people the age of the bones. If we tell people the age of the bones, all right, if the bones come out to be the same age of the dinosaurs, all that shit makes sense. The Bible would make perfect sense. If you give us the age of those fossilized giant bones, if they match up with the date of the dinosaurs, y'all motherfuckers in trouble. There's only one book that tell that goddamn story. All right, and that's going to put the entire planet on notice. And it's going to become a scary situation at that. All right. I told you they discovered the 30-foot nigga bones. You still in the chat room. You have not even Googled it. All right. You didn't Google it. They've been discovered, the bones. The bones been discovered all over the planet. I was having a discussion about Pangea, on how all the 7 continents, all right, were at one piece at one time. I don't know if anybody recalls us having that discussion about Pangea and how the atheists and the philosophers bring this up and they don't even realize you're telling the fucking story of Genesis. I don't understand that. I don't understand how people can say the word Pangea and not say that they are talking about the book of Genesis. That's the weirdest shit in my it's so weird. We could bring up the dinosaurs. We could bring up how 7 continents were all connected as one. We could bring all that up. That's where you get this whole flat earth concept from, because the 7 continents were one piece at one time. That don't mean the world is flat. All right. It just means the continents are. So the ends of the earth would be all 7 of these continents as one piece. That would be one end to the other. That makes sense? All right. Now, science has shown you all types of things that has been things that have been like created, right? Science. And you have these great mental thinkers that are men, right? And they create all of these scientifical and discover things and things like that, right? And people with less intelligence tend to cling to these people because they see that these people have these gifts of knowledge, right? But see, the God of the Bible is the greatest scientist ever. He's greater than any scientist that you could bring up. He's greater than any philosopher you could bring up, right? Let me explain why. Because see, God created a grain of grass. Man can't do that. God created that tree outside your house. He created the whole seed concept. He created the concept of the carbon that comes out the tree and the air that comes out your body. He created the air that surrounds you right now. Man can't do that. And he did that long before you got a cell phone in your hand. He did that long before you had an internet service or a Wi-Fi signal. But God don't get no credit for shit like that. All right? God created 4 motherfucking seasons: summer, spring, winter, and fall. And that form of science, we have to study the shit that he created. But he doesn't get any credit for that. I heard people talking about circumcision on one show, right? Go look in the Bible and see God told you to get your male son circumcised on the 7th or 8th day, long before that doctor told you to do it. Go look it up. People like to say that's some type of Jewish custom. Yeah, the Jews picked up on it, but actually it has nothing to do with the Jews. It was an order that God told you to do with your male sons. All right. Now, the doctors will explain to you why it's important to have your male son circumcised, right? They'll give you all of the, health things and the reasons why doing that, right? You as a mother, you have a son, they say, well, you need to get your son circumcised, and they'll give you all the scientific reasoning behind it, right? But if you go in the Bible, God didn't give you no motherfucking reasoning. God didn't give you no motherfucking explanation. He just told you to do it. Like your daddy telling you to do something. All right? Do it with no explanation. But why? Bitch, I said do it. You don't need explanation. See the difference? All right? See the difference? There's a method. You tell your kids not to touch the stove. You don't go into no motherfucking explanations. You say don't touch the fucking stove. All right? Your child went to go open your door and walk out. You're not going to give them an explanation on why they shouldn't be walking out that door. You're going to tell them to get off the fucking door. Right? All right? Your teenage child, grab your car keys and say, well, Mom, Dad, I'm about to take your car and ride the fuck off. What you going to do? You going to let him? I say, sure. Okay. So this whole concept of getting away from the Bible is the reason why Satan's winning the game. He's proving to God who's worthy, who's not. All right. It's just that simple. If you want to get into that soul selling shit, go right ahead. Oh, I promise you, it'll bring you money. It just ain't gonna bring you happiness. You ain't gonna be no different than every other motherfucking celebrity that go live on Instagram and all this other shit. And 1 minute they smiling, they happy, they giggling. This the next thing they crying like a motherfucker. Talk about some, man, this shit is fucked up. I can't even tell y'all what they doing out here. But I just want to say, I love Jesus. This soul selling shit is getting out of control. Niggas doing for money. What happened to that little boy that went on World Star and told everybody he sucked Birdman's dick to get the record deal? Where'd he go? What happened to him? All right. What happened to him? Where'd he go? See, every time you get a motherfucker in here to expose some shit, they don't want to talk about it. All right. Or it's not a popular discussion for the simple fact is, oh, now we starting to pull out evidence. Now we're starting to get a little too real. All right. Now let's get back on this Pangea concept right quick, because I don't want people to get, too lost out here. Let's get back on this Pangea concept. You have Pangea, which is the 7 continents, and they all sitting together. Okay. What the Bible is saying, okay, which is these books. All right. You got a bloodline of Adam and Eve, and I hope y'all can keep up. All right. You got a bloodline. According to everything starts at Adam and Eve, right? Now, Adam and Eve were having children, but it wasn't this concept that people say that, you have Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel. All right. Cain and Abel were the firstborn sons, but Adam and Eve had more children outside of Cain and Abel. Okay. All right. All right. So you had the 4. All right. And then they had other children. Bloodlines. Now, Abel, his bloodline was cut off because of what Cain did to Abel. All right. Now, what you have is another level of Cain being fruitful in the earth. Now, Cain had children and had grandchildren. What was the mindset of Cain's children and grandchildren? That's what you have to look at. All right? That's what you have to look at. Cain is labeled in the Bible as the first murderer of the world, right? He was the first person to actually kill someone on the planet. Keep in mind, we're talking about Cain killing somebody on Pangea. Your Garden of Eden, your paradise, was Pangea Ultima. You know, the place you can't find no more. Think about it. Pangea, the water in the middle and the water surrounding. Paradise. Think about it. Now, you look in the Bible, it talks about Cain having a grandson by the name Lamech. Okay? Lamech had multiple wives. So now we are showing signs of polygamy in Pangea, that this was abundant, that men and women were just having sex with each other and they were related. This wasn't a practice that was considered icky according to the Bible. It was common practice. All right. And it said that even the angels took notice on how beautiful these women were. And they started taking wives for themselves. Now, there are other books, like I believe there's a book, the book of Enoch, I believe, talks about how he said that he saw the angels fall from the sky like stars and go into the animals. When you look in the Bible, Eve is talking to a serpent, not the devil, a serpent that had, I guess, legs. The Bible always talks about, and you've heard this multiple times from multiple people, that at one point we as a human race had a relationship with the animals. Like you could walk up to a lion and it wouldn't eat you. Well, the Bible is saying we as a human race were talking to these animals and they were talking back. Who were we talking to? We were talking to the fallen angels that had took possession over the animals, because 1/3 of the angels were kicked out of heaven along with Satan. They went into the animals because animals don't have souls. So, think about it. How could an angel have sex with a woman? According to Genesis and the theory that when they fell, they went into the animals. How could they reproduce now, people? Think about it. How would they reproduce? Huh? Oh, damn. Did I go too deep on y'all? Did I go too deep? Maybe I went too deep. All salt, no chill. I think he got it when he said demigods. Yeah. Fallen angels. A fallen angel is no more than the son of the true God, right? So, Egyptians worshipped half man, half cat, half man, half dog, half llama, half goddamn zebra. The Egyptians had gods. Moloch is a god. All right. Some type of half man, half beast, right? You go in every fucking culture and you see some type of half human with 7 goddamn arms, right?
Sheba.
Everywhere we go, right? The Chinese have some type of fucking dragons and shit with multiple heads and shit. Not no ordinary dragon. This dragon got 7 goddamn heads on it. It is the size of Godzilla. Everywhere you go, humans have stated they have seen something supernatural. Hell, the Mayans said that they saw aliens come down out of a goddamn spaceship. That's who helped them build the motherfucking pyramids. They was aliens. I don't know what the fuck they were. But they did help. Look. The Egyptians, who are in a whole, look, on a whole other side of the world, in a whole nother time frame, said that they were helped by these gods. You know, they were half man and half creatures. And, you know, we built the statue best way we could to give you an opportunity to see what they look like. They look like that. You know, we ain't got no pictures. We got memories, though. Nigga, give me a skull. I sculpt this nigga. I know what he looked like. I know what the fuck I saw. Give me a minute. Can I get some clay and a paintbrush, please? I'm going to show you what the fuck I just. I don't give a fuck. All right. Now, the way you even have knowledge of these things is because of what Ham did in the Bible. You see, when God destroyed the world, he destroyed the Nephilim, he destroyed all of the things physical in the world that went along with that, right? Which in turn killed the dinosaurs as well. But when you look after the flood, Noah's son, Ham, was still stuck in the old ways of doing things. That's what it was. That's how you have the argument that Satan laid down. Because when you look at the world and say, okay, when God put the flood down, Noah and his bloodline became the new Adam and Eve. Like, people always, even in the Christian world, believe that they come from the seed of Adam and Eve, but you are so far from that bloodline in the tree of life. You're way more closer to Noah, and you carry on the characteristics of his family and the laws that he laid down. Not the laws that were laid down by Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve didn't have no fucking laws. There was no laws in the time of Adam and Eve. Before the flood, people could do whatever the hell they wanted to. There was no, prayer and worship and all of that shit. That didn't even exist. None of that was even put into play pre-flood. All right, you was given the same freedom as the lion at that point. It's like, hey, nigga, you may do your thing. You welcome. So Noah was the one that said, well, now that we are the, rulers of the world, I'm daddy. This is the law. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do things. What did Ham do? Ham wanted to look at his daddy naked and go back to the, hey, he wanted to go back and do his thing. So what did Noah do? Noah cursed Ham's entire bloodline and said that they would be the servants, that they would be slaves to their brothers. And that's what you were. All right. Your first cousin was your master and you was his slave. So slavery actually started with Noah in the Bible, not the white man, not Rome, because Rome didn't exist back then. Hell, couldn't even really blame Egypt for the slaves they kept, right? Because Noah is the first individual on the planet to instill slavery onto the world. People don't, see who really started slavery. Started with one man and his son and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so forth and so on. And according to the Bible, this went on for 250 years. So that would be enough time to build resentment up in a whole generation of people, saying that they're being born into the world cursed by God simply because Noah said so. Noah said, well, you couldn't be you couldn't be a boss at your job, or you could never be a business owner because you're from the bloodline of Ham. Therefore, you will be a janitor. You will be on fries for the rest of your natural fucking life. All right. You will never own a house. You will always live with somebody. Okay. Welcome to the world. Yeah. So at some point, it dawns on you and says, well, this is wrong. Why am I being treated like this? And this is my bloodline cousin. This is my family. Why are they doing this? Oh, because Noah said so. We all got to listen to Noah. They don't tell you this story when you go to church about how Noah started slavery. They don't tell you about that. So, for those people that say the Bible is fake, the Bible ain't real, well, then you also have to say slavery ain't real. You got to agree with them Klansmen now. All right. Because the Bible is very, very clear on who started slavery. Wasn't God, wasn't none of that. Nope. All set up by Noah. All right. All set up by Noah. And the first revolution, rebellion, whatever you want to call it, well, that happened with the Canaanites, the offspring of Ham. Because, eventually Noah died. And when Noah died, all of Ham's bloodline, all right, fought against the system. They rebelled against the rest of their family and took over the world. All right. Boy, what a day was that when the Canaanites decided that they would no longer be slaves to their brothers and that they would be the rulers of the world. And they also blamed God for allowing Noah to put them in that situation. So they said, fuck God. We are going to create our own gods. At that point, these people had the knowledge of Ham on how to contact those fallen angels, on how to do all of that shit. All right. People want to talk about the Black Revolution and fighting back against the system. Yeah, that's all in the book of Genesis. If somebody go and read it, they would see. All right. And slavery was taught at an early age. All right. And it didn't originate with the white man. Sorry. All right. Didn't originate with the white man. Do your research. All right. Matter of fact, I think I'll make it easy for you and just give you the passage. All right. I'll just give you the passage here. You know me, this is VicDamoane, right? This is mobile no DQ night. I know where that's at. Want me to just tell you where it's at? I don't want nobody slapping their preacher in the morning when I show them where this is at. All right. All right. Ooh, we're going to get spooky now. Ooh. Whoa. Open up the book. I need some music. I'm opening up the book. I need some music. All right. All right. Yeah, the story a lot, all that good stuff right here in the book of Genesis. A lot of shit jumping off. A lot of shit jumping off. All right. Right here. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna burn. Hey, look, for all you people that have chose to be with Satan, I'm about to burn the shit out you. All right. So my numbers go down a little bit. That's good. All right. Yeah. Scared the shit out you. All right, bitch. The Bible in front of y'all niggas. Scared the fuck out y'all. All right. Good. All right. Let's see what it says. Genesis chapter 9, 18. All right. All right. Yeah. We're gonna scare away the motherfuckers away. We had Genesis chapter 9. All right. All right. All right. Genesis chapter 9. At 9:1, it says, and God went on to bless Noah and his sons and say to them, be fruitful and become many and fill the earth. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. He told Noah, because Adam and Eve and all them other motherfuckers was dead. Said 9:1. Now, All right. All right. You look at 9:8. It says, God went on to say, Noah and to his sons with him, as for me, here I am establishing my covenant with you men and your offspring after you, and with every living soul that is with you, among the fowls, among the beasts, among all the living creatures. See, this is the same thing he said to Adam. He now is giving all of this to Noah, right? At 9:12, and God added, this is a sign of the covenant that I am giving between me and you and every living soul that is with you for the generations to time indefinite. My rainbow I do give in the cloud, and it must serve as a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. That's where your rainbow comes from. You know, it's a sign of the covenant between you, God, and the earth. So if you're seeing rainbows, I think that's a good thing. You're not seeing the motherfuckers, you better go looking. Okay? All right? You learn something new every day. All right? It's real Bible teaching. Burning these sinners away. Burning the shit out y'all. Are y'all keeping up? All right. Now, as God do all this, right? 9:20. It says, now Noah started off as a farmer and proceeded to plant a vineyard. Okay? Yeah, you know, and began drinking of the wine and became intoxicated. So he uncovered himself in the midst of the tent. Later, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and went telling it to his two brothers outside. Oh, you didn't know Noah was drinking? You didn't know Noah was drinking Neptunes? Yeah, that nigga was getting drunk. But stop. At 9:22, it says, later Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and went telling it to his two brothers outside. At that, Shem and Japheth took a mantle and put it upon both of their shoulders and walked in backwards, thus covering their father's nakedness, while their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. You know, you got one son that thinks looking at his naked father is something he should do, and you got two other sons that are appalled and disgusted and don't want to see their daddy's dick. Do y'all see the problem here? Are we following along? Because I'm reading out the Bible. Are we following along? We got two sons that don't want to see their daddy's dick and balls. And we got one son that enjoys seeing his daddy dick and balls. Are we following along? Are we keeping up? If y'all think I'm cheating, I'm giving y'all the goddamn passage. Y'all go look, see the shit for yourself. You got a Bible in your house? Open this shit up. All right? Think about what I just said. And I just read out of an actual Bible. We got one son like looking at dicks and two sons that said no. Okay. Like, I don't want to see my father's dick swinging. No, thank you. Are we following along? Now, keep in mind, what did God just say to Noah and his 3 sons? What did he just say? I'm making a covenant with y'all. Look, he just left. God, he just left. And we got Ham, the dick watcher. He want to see it go up and down in the morning. All right? How you think Noah feel right now? This was the only man that God chose to survive. He wakes up to find out his son has been staring at his dick and wanted other people to stare at it. How you think Noah feel right now? And Noah was that nigga telling everybody pre-flood to repent. The word end of the world. Y'all better stop doing that fuck shit. Y'all better stop doing that fuck shit. And here go Ham doing fuck shit after the flood. And God just left. Nigga, he just left. Like Ham knew who God was. All right, let's read a little more. All right, let's read a little more. All right. At 24, 9:24, it says, finally, Noah awoke from his wine and got to know what his youngest son had done to him. And at this he said, cursed be Canaan. Let him become the lowest slave to his brothers. There's that word slave. All right. Keep reading, y'all. When you get to 28, it said Noah continued to live. Oh, I said 250. I had it wrong. It said Noah continued to live 350 years after the deluge. So Canaan and his entire bloodline were slaves for 350 years. Do you understand why the Canaanites fought back after he died? And then the Egyptians became the true power, the one power in the world. Because the next book of the Bible is Exodus with Moses and Pharaoh. With the Pharaohs and Egyptians, they're already established by then. Because the ancestors of the Egyptians are the Canaanites. The Canaanites are the original pharaohs. That's the bloodline. Black folks, as they like to say, the pro-blacks like to say black people. Yeah. And they were the first ones to go against God in the Bible. That's why black people are suffering now. People don't like to hear it that way, but it's true. What other way do you have to explain it? Why you have all of these black people that were in power, but God chose the white man. Why is that? It started with Ham. That's where it started. Because Noah was the black Adam, where the rest of the human race comes from. Noah. All right. All right. It really don't have nothing to do with race. It has to do with bloodlines. All right. Now, inside of these bloodlines, we still have the fallen. Because what happened to all the fallen angels in the flood? Anybody know? What happened to the fallen angels in the flood? Because they were in the animals, remember? They couldn't get into a human. They could probably jump into a Nephilim body, but God destroyed all them Nephilim bodies in the flood. So what happened to them? What happened to them? All right. Think about it. They went right back into the animals. Where else could they go? They started mating with squid, sharks, for all those giant creatures that are deep the bottom of the sea. It would make sense if an angel mated with a human and it created a giant. Well, if the angels who are still earthbound, right, because they were kicked out of heaven, they didn't get back into heaven when the flood happened and separated Pangea, the one continent, into 7 continents. Think about it. Angels are immortal, right? So if they're immortal, you can't drown them. You're only killing off what? The human race, the animals, the dinosaurs. That's all you wiping out. But a supernatural being doesn't need air. God created air for humans and animals. For us, fucking angel don't need no goddamn air. Or water for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So, the waters come back down, right? We start the whole game all over again. Satan, he had his people in line, right? He already had his people in line at that particular point. All right? He already had his people in line. Couple other things he had to switch up on, folks. And one of the main things he did was, like I said, that concept of time. And I got into that on a previous stream too. All right. The concept of time. How if I take your odometer, you know what I'm saying, your odometer in your car. If I take your odometer in your car and I set it back to 0, no one will ever know how many miles are on your engine, right? In fact, it's illegal for you to do that, I think, in any country. You're not supposed, out of everything you can tamper with in the car, you're not supposed to tamper with the mileage odometer, right? Well, what if someone did do that? There would be no way of you knowing that they did that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like started to drive the car, and obviously the performance of the car would not resemble the odometer, right? Well, it's the same thing with the calendar. The calendar is the odometer, all right? The engine is us. Now, what Satan did was he reset the odometer. And when he did that, there's no way of you knowing your own personal history, all right? Because the odometer of life was reset. Do you know when it was reset? It was reset 2018 years ago. That's when it was reset. That's the only evidence that I can really even present to you. Because if I go back 3,000 years and I ask someone, hey, dog, what year is it? They're not going to say, well, the year is 1000 BC. Can't you see the calendar? They're not going to say that. They're going to actually give me the proper year. But for some strange reason, we have all of these ancient tribes, right? All over the world. They don't believe in the Bible. They don't believe in toilet paper. All right? If you go too close to them, they might kill you on the site. Some of them motherfuckers are cannibals. And say that their generations have been practicing this shit way longer than the Bible been in existence. You ask these people, what year is it? And they tell you it's 2018. How? That's a biblical number. That should not be in your demographic. Why is everybody saying it? Everybody shouldn't say 2018. Somebody should give me, I should be able to go somewhere in the world and say, hey, dog, what year is it? And that motherfucker give me the actual year pre-2018 years ago when the clocks got changed over. Somebody should have it written down somewhere. But go into your history, you'll find out that you actually had 15 months in a year instead of 12. So what the fuck they do with the other 3 months? Look, you hear me? There was 15 months in the year. They knocked it down to 12. And then you have a leap year. What? Oh, and by the way, sometimes we're going to have 28 days. You know, on this day, we might have 29 and 30. You know, and let's not forget about daylight savings time going up and down to give you an hour back. And then, you know, take it back away and give it back to you again. Yeah. All right. Think about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That rabbit hole is very, very deep. All right. Rabbit hole is very, very deep. All right. Yeah, there are two sides, you know, to the world. All right. Or I should say, not two sides, but three. All right. You can either roll with God, roll with Satan, or be a victim. All right. Those are your three options. Because the people that are naive are victims. The ones that don't know always are the victims. The ones that ain't, you know, hip to what's going on, you're victimized. You're the individual that comes up and says, why is this continuously happening to me? And I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Real talk. You become the victim because you didn't make a choice. All right. Because that's how the world is set up. You either down with Satan, you against Satan, or you a victim. What you gonna do? All right, what you gonna do? Feel what I'm saying, Snoopy? Though You have all the motherfuckers. They'll sit in the church, go every Sunday, pay their money, listen to the pastor, pass out, dance, twerk, all that shit, get back home. You still got the same goddamn problems you had before you left. All right? But you walk in the door talking about, man, that service was good. Man, the preacher, he was on today. The fuck? Did you just go to a rap concert? All right. Sunday morning. Oh, I feel good. You know, when they saw the pastor, he was all that singing and dancing. I feel the Lord. I feel the Lord. Until Monday roll around, right? Then Monday comes. Monday come around. I'm not really feeling the Lord. That, you know, that was yesterday. Today I need you to play my numbers. All right. Didn't they tell you that you were supposed to celebrate God on the last day of the week? Ain't you supposed to, you know, praise God on the last day of the week? So why do you go to church on Sunday? I'm just curious. Because Sunday is actually the first day of the week. It's not the last day of the week. All right. So if you do find a church that actually celebrates God on Saturday, every Saturday, shit, you probably be in the game. Hell, give me their goddamn address. That a church that has church service on Saturday. Oh, I ain't even got none, bro. All right. Yeah. All right. Show me that. I ain't seen it yet. All right. I see everybody getting dressed up on Sunday and they Sunday best. All right. That's what I see. Hold on one second, Joe. All right. So you think about this. You have two types of preachers out here, right? You have the ones that, you know, try their best to do the right thing because nobody's perfect. But then you have the ones that are completely corrupt. Now, the one thing you have to know about a church, I don't care what type of church it is, that there's nothing in the Bible that says that a fallen angel cannot enter a church. Because God does not have a house on the earth. All right? I hear that term all the time, God's house, house of the Lord. Didn't he just tell you not to make no goddamn graven image? All right? But you didn't talk about you didn't build this nigga a house? Oh, no. That's why he ain't fucking with you. All right? Damn. Common sense. Don't make a graven image. This is God's house. What? But anyway, see? Mistake number one. This is the house of the Lord. What? God just told you not to do that. The fuck? Mistake number one. These demons ain't gonna come into this church because this is God's house. We get the demons out. Yeah, sure. If man had some type of ability to keep an angel out of a church, the Jews would have never had to kill the vessel that was holding Jesus Christ. All right? I'm just saying. All right? They would have wrapped that shit up a whole lot faster. And I mean, I know some of you churchgoers, you go into a church, what do you see? You see people on their cell phones, motherfuckers playing games, right? Hell, all the pastor doing is standing up there talking his shit about Aunt Millie, right? I swear, look, Amen, Detroit, last church I went to was the last church I went to. This motherfucker get to preaching. And I swear, his so-called sermon started off like a Biggie rap song. All right? His shit started off like a Biggie rap song. You ever, whoever saw the deaf comedy, it wasn't deaf comedy, it was like deaf poetry. Remember Russell Simmons did Def Comedy Jam? And then he had the motherfucking spoken word and poetry on HBO. Who remembers that? All right. This nigga come down off the podium, right? And he looks at everybody in the church and he says, why everybody trying to kill me? Why are they trying to kill me? I'm just trying to put the word out on the Lord. But these people actually want to see me dead. What? All right. And every church got an Aunt Mabel that they praying for. They couldn't be up to service tonight. So, all right, we're going to pass out the collection plate to take some money in for Aunt Mabel. How am I representing you when I come inside your house and you say, don't, please take your shoes off at the door, and I'm walking all through your house with shoes on, telling everybody how much I love you? Let me say that again. How can I represent you when you tell me, please do not wear shoes in my house, and I'm walking around your house with shoes on, telling everybody how great you are? How is that representing you? Think about it. What are you representing at that point? And y'all wonder why God don't come down and talk to people no more. Oh, you didn't understand my answer? Glacier Fernandez? You didn't understand my answer? All right. Okay. Let me simplify it for you. If you are representing your opinion in the chat room, all right, and I just all of a sudden block you and keep you from talking, all right, am I allowing you to get your point across, or am I dominating the conversation? Or am I trying to keep your opinion silent so no one else can see? Is that you can't represent God. Oh, you know where it says that? In the book of Matthew. See, for some strange reason, you believe that you higher than Jesus Christ, or you some type of equal. That's why you can't represent God, because you're not Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ represents God. When did God call you and tell you you was the next Jesus Christ? Does that make sense? Is that simple enough? Yeah, really. Jesus Christ said, whoever puts his mother and father before me is not worthy of me. You skip Jesus altogether. Talk about, I'm going to represent God. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. See, I'm a follower of Christ. So, all right, being a follower of Christ, you know, I know my position on the table. But y'all motherfuckers say y'all gonna skip Jesus and go straight to God, huh? Good luck. All right. All right. There's a difference. What did God say about Jesus Christ? What did God say about Jesus Christ? What did he tell you? All right. He said that he was approved, right? Now, you don't have to be church affiliated to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the thing. That's what churches won't tell you. Jesus told every single person on the planet how to pray to God himself. If you want your prayers to be heard, how many people pray the way Jesus Christ told you to? Or do you make it, or do you just make that shit up as you go along? Or do you freestyle it? Think about it. Is it loaf toast? Think about it. If Jesus Christ said, if you want God to hear your prayer, this is the way you do it. Why are you going against what he said? Jesus got like real direct. He got real direct. And you know what? In the 80s, we were using that method to make prayers to God. Ain't that a bitch? In the 80s, all the churches were praying to God the right way. That's crazy. All of the churches. But then those pastors died and the church got passed to the next generation. Then they started fucking up. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Now, who knows the riddling question? Of how you pray to God according to the Bible. What prayer is the prayer that God hears? Does anybody know the name of it? Because it has a name. Ooh, this is the riveting part. Does anybody know the name of that prayer? And Tony got to the buzzer first. Uh-huh. Now, Jesus Christ said, when you perform this prayer, he told you to go into a dark, private room and pray in silence. To use your mind and to say this prayer in your mind. All right? Over and over again. And don't be shook if somebody pick up that call. Don't be shook when you get a return email. Jesus told everybody how to do it. And then they killed Jesus after he told everybody how to do it. Does that make sense, people? He told everybody how to do it. They kill him and stop doing it. Yeah. Are there any 70s babies in the house? All right. Who went to church as a child in the 80s and remembers when you went into a church, especially a Baptist church, all right? All right. A Baptist church, what would they do? Before the church service would start, we are going to say the Lord's Prayer. That's how you knew it. Because as a child, old folks had you writing that shit down on note paper and shit. Who remembers this? I know I ain't crazy. I ain't the only child went through this shit. You went to Sunday school, they made you wrote that shit down on a piece of paper, on a book. And your grandparents like, you better know it. You better know the Lord's Prayer, boy. Say it right now. All right? They was delivering ass whoopers if you didn't know that shit. All right? All right? Well, beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. Say the Lord's Prayer. Or catch this fade. Oh, look, I got one left in here. Throw the whole box away. All right? Iron fist type shit. All right? That's right. See, Sharita, look, they taught Sharita a nice way in a song. You hear that? All right. Sharita said there, who's singing? Who's not singing? Be like that white man we showed in Africa. My man disrespected Jesus. That old white man got the swinging. He said, you disrespect Jesus? Dang, he just got to punch the motherfuckers in the face. I will beat your ass. Bitch, oh shit. That old man was body. He was ready to get it in. Don't talk shit about Jesus in front of him. He gonna beat your ass. All right? Bitch, you don't love Jesus. I will beat Jesus, bitch. That's right. Pissed him off. And then we find out later on that old motherfucker was a preacher. That old ass white man turned out to be a pastor. That shit was hilarious. I said, oh, okay, he a pastor. That makes it all right. He was ordained to whoop ass for Jesus. Right. All right. He on that like Apostle Paul 2.0 type shit. All right, like God said not to kill you, but he ain't say nothing about me fucking you up. All right, look. God said thou shalt not kill. He did not say thou shalt not take this fist and go across your motherfucking face for disrespecting Jesus Christ, bitch. He didn't tell me. All right. There's a lot of little underlines in the Bible that motherfuckers understand. Talking about Christians ain't supposed to do that. Christians not supposed to act like that. Shit, nigga, you ain't read the goddamn Bible on Christianity or biblical texts on what you consider Christians can and can't do. Shit. Oh, yeah. Being a Jesus follower is great. It is great. All right. All right. I mean, Jesus tell us to turn the other cheek, right? And we do eventually, right? He also said, even though you are evil, you know how to give gifts to your children. Therefore, he's acknowledging the fact that he knows that you're evil. He knows there's nothing that you can do about the element of you being evil. All right. That's what it is. You say, you know what? Even though you are evil, you know how to give gifts to your children. Therefore, all right, dog, come on, you good. Come on. You get in the ride. Come on, fuck. Because hell, Jesus looked out for a Canaanite woman. All right, nobody even noticed that either. Even looked out for a Canaanite woman. All that's in there too. Yikes, y'all. But yeah, my phone is dying and dead. I'm going to have to charge this boy up. All right. I have to charge my phone up, people. Oh, I think my other phone is in there. Let's get some juice. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a quick stream. I know it got this freaking updates crap. Let's do it. Keep bugging me. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let this phone charge up. All right. And I think I got about another hour and a half. We'll jump on VicDamoane Live 24/7 right quick. All right. See y'all over there in a second. All right. Deuces.